How do they, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV, where today we're going to talk again about the women's series of darts, but this time a huge entry coming into play with Beau entering the field. Now, a couple of days ago I did do a video where we spoke about Fallon Sherrocks, who potentially could miss out on the World Championship places if results went against her over at the women's series here. Would really pressurise that last event. I think Beau entering this is going to be a big advantage to Fallon making that World Championship for this year, because Beau is going to be like a wrecking ball to the women's series, and here is why. Beau, you'll see here, is currently the top of the WDF Women's World Rankings. The WDF Women's World Rankings is basically the world rankings, but with Fallon and Lisa playing a couple of events rather than the whole tour. You'll see here she is the Women's World Champion, reigning and defending. She has won the Dutch Open, the Australian Darts Open, the Isle of Man, the Welsh, pretty much everything that is on the calendar she has won. Now, the interesting part about the women's one, though, you'll see here, runner-up Fallon Sherrocks. Beau won that event with a 93.33 average in the final. Significant, because actually when we take a look at the women's world rankings for the women's series, the averages, the 3-dart average for the players in the PDC at the moment, the stats that they are producing are sort of Fallon and Lisa are running away with it, just shy of an 82, and everyone else below that is sort of 75 down. Now, the WDF, unlike the PDC, do not use Darts Connect for every single one of their events, so we're not able to get a whole seasonal average for Beau, but we can certainly have a look through some of the events to see exactly what she is doing. And you'll see here some of the events that I've managed to get the whole calendar for. So this one's the Romanian one. She won the final 5-0 with an 88, 88, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. She didn't even lose a leg. Look, straight the way through. Lowest average of the day was 75, which, when we go back to those sort of averages from the women's series at the moment, puts Beau in a very dangerous category when she's regularly around the sort of high 80s. This one is the Women's World Championship. So this was a televised event, the major event of the year, and you can see here, again, started with 78, which still puts her very high on the women's series averages, but then, again, averaging over the top of those seasonal stats of even Lisa and Fallon, ending with a 92 average in the final. I think real significant comes from this one, the Welsh one, because not only did she beat Lisa Ashton 4-3 with a 90 average, she also beat Fallon Sherrocks in the final with a 93.5, and again, always over the top of those stats and that data that has been produced so far on the women's series. There's going to be a total of 4 series events taking part in Germany, 2 on Saturday, 2 on the Sunday. One thing the stats and the data suggest is that Beau isn't just going to enter these, but she is potentially going to win at least one. Personally, I think she's going to go and win multiple of these events. That is going to shape the rankings up heavily. One thing it's going to do is it's going to put her in a very strong place for next year's Women's World Matchplay at Blackpool. So that's something we can expect to see her in. If she then goes and plays the next events, the next bulk of women's series, which will take place in the UK again, and she does well in these, she could start challenging for that top 2 position. Now, that is a very unlikely statement when you take a look at the rankings. You see that Fallon already has a £5,800 lead. Lisa Ashton is already too far gone into the distance. If Beau is going to close this gap, she's going to need to win at least 3, if not all, of these events this coming weekend, and then still chase down Fallon Sherrocks in the last weekend. But one thing we do know is she is certainly capable of doing so, and she can certainly apply the pressure on Fallon Sherrocks going into those final events. I don't think this is a case of does Beau win. I think this is a case of how many does she win, and I do think this blows the video up. The other day I put up about Fallon, it blows it completely out of the water now, because this has put in a bit of a wrecking ball and a bit of an assassin into the mix going into these events. I, for one, will be keeping an eye on this and seeing how she does. Let me know in the comment section exactly what you're expecting. I've had a look through Twitter and I can see a lot of you are actually predicting 4 out of 4 for Beau this weekend, which again is an outcome that wouldn't surprise me, especially when you look at the stats and the data that she's producing at the moment. If you have enjoyed this update video, please do hit a like on it, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV. Edgar TV.